May think that slavery has ended in the 1800s, however, it still continues today in one way or another. What is the negative impact that slavery caused in history and today? In history, slavery was a major problem and it was normal for people to have slaves and were very common. But soon, we realized that slavery was wrong, which stopped slavery but not completely. Because throughout history and today, slavery is a major worldwide problem that needs to be stopped today because it is inhumane against human rights and forced labor. Governments can't do too much about stopping slavery because it's too hard for them to observe their companies if they are using slaves.
To understand slavery, you need to realize when and how it originated. In China, there is a slave system and long work hours in factories. Chinese people would be born a slave because their mother was a slave. People would sell their children for money to pay off debt. They would beat the slave if he or she did not do what they were told to do. Poor people sold themselves into slavery for survival. Most kids in China don't have a proper education. In India, when the Islamic conquered India, many people were forced to be slaves. Many worked in mines with terrible conditions. From Africa, slaves were soldiers or bodyguards. Now slaves in India are treated badly because they were forced to work. If they tried to leave, they would be beaten. The whole day, they are working only to earn a small amount of money, including the death bondage. People became slaves in exchange for a loan of money. In Pakistan, people are forced to work in brick kilns and carpet weaving factories due to that reason. There were also bad government protection, and it is easier to hide slaves from the corrupted government in Pakistan. Until now, slavery still exists, and the treatment of slaves is inhumane. They get low wages and get worse than they are supposed to get, which ends up with them deeper in debt. Not only do children contain a large proportion of brick kiln workers, but the rate of child injuries in the brick kilns is high. Common injuries among the child brick kiln workers include deteriorating eyesight and even blindness.
Slaves' everyday life are horrible. Slaves work for long hours, getting beaten because they're trying to leave. They get trafficked, dumped, or killed. People are forced to work as slaves because they were born as a slave. Abused by the inhumane people that are forcing them to work. Mostly child labor is from their parents forced to work long hours in factories, which is another problem. These are some of the hard troubles we need to stop today. The solution to slavery is to stop keeping people in slavery, such as human trafficking, child labor, and forced and early marriage. Modern slavery is the world's second highest crime rate, which makes us worry. The solution to modern slavery is to make people aware that it's happening in the world, that modern slavery is still happening today. Gather information, ask companies where did they get all their materials they need to build or make their things that they make. Make a social media account against slavery and tell what you know about modern slavery. Pressure the company that are using slaves. For example, give them a letter that is saying that free the slave. Some future possibility of slavery or the slave may decrease or increase according to what government do and how much this cause is support against. Disease may increase because of forced labor and bad conditions.
In conclusion, we need to stop slavery today, which we can do by gathering information about the product or company that is using unfair labor to make their products and selling someone in the government. It may seem easy, but you can also help by telling others about this problem and starting an organization because most times people have an idea that they don't know what to do, and you could do that by perhaps becoming a leader against slavery. It is really important now that slavery is stopped before more people get sucked into slavery.